Welcome back to another episode of the Shortsighted podcast. Today, we're talking to Michael, who went from minus 3.25 to half diopter left. So he doesn't need corrective lenses for most daytime and general activities. Kind of a cool episode, kind of inspirational if you're not quite there yet, no matter where you are in the diopter journey. Worth listening to this one. Hope you enjoy.
I started out with 3.25 in my right eye and 2.5 in the left eye with a cylinder of -1.
-1. And how long ago was this?
That was in January 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So
and currently?
More than 2 years now.
Right. Time flies. Where are you at currently?
Well, currently my normalized, when I wear them, they are half a diopter. Yeah, but I'm way undercorrected still. I know that probably my real diopters would be around -1.25, I think.
Yeah.
But I like to be a little bit more undercorrected, and these days I mostly go outside without my glasses, and I can watch TV without them. I can read the subtitles. It takes a little effort, but it's working. So I try to use them less and less.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going quite well.
What prompted the whole discovery project on fixing your eyes?
Yeah, well, I had been wearing the same pair of glasses for about 5 years, and it was in June 2020, I think, that I got new glasses, and I went to the optometrist, and they told me, well, your eyes have gotten a bit worse. It's half of a diopter stronger, what you need, and I didn't buy the glasses there, so I don't have the paper from the optometrist that says exactly what the diopters were, but I had the previous one. So I ordered them online, and I had those for about half a year. And then in January of 2021, I discovered that my right eye had gotten a bit worse again. And I found that strange because I had those previous glasses for about 5 years, and now I just had those new glasses for half a year, and it was getting worse. And I thought, how come that the eyes are getting worse? And I just started Googling and looking for, what's the reason behind this? Why are the eyes getting worse? And of course, I found stuff about Bates method, but I also found a video from EndMyopia. This is one that actually wasn't made by you. I don't know who made it, but it was with all the graphics and the eye and explaining how myopia occurs and how it progresses. And yeah, I thought that was a very nice video. But the first thing I started to do was a bit of Bates method. So I started researching that, bought some books about that, and I stopped wearing glasses right away in January. Went from -3 to nothing, and it was doable. But of course, working on the computer, I have an IT job, so I'm behind the computer all day, and on the computer without my glasses, that was a bit tough. I had to sit pretty close to the monitor to be able to see it. And after a while, I started reading things on EndMyopia. I read that you practically needed 2 sets of glasses, differentials for close by and normalized for in the distance. And so around that time, I simply ordered 2 pairs of glasses. I had no ideas about the whole diopter thing yet, so calculating it. But I thought, this is not working without glasses for the computer. I need something for the computer. And so I ordered a pair of -1 for the computer, and I ordered a pair of -2 for watching TV, because when I was outside, it was okay. It was blurry, but didn't bother me all that much. So I thought -2 for watching TV, that should be fine. And of course, when they arrived, I discovered that they were not strong enough, either pair of them. But I already knew by that time, because I had done some more research on EndMyopia and done the calculation, and so by that time I knew they would be too weak. And yeah, that's when I actually started with the EndMyopia methods. It was by the end of January in 2021, but it took me a while to really get started with that, because I had a very hard time finding active focus. I simply didn't get it. I tried close up, like it said, yeah, with a book and simply blinking, and it didn't work for me. So that was difficult. It took me about 3 months to find active focus, and I actually found it in the distance, just going outside, and someone pointed me to the fact that power lines were very good for doing that. And yeah, I discovered that if I look at power lines and I simply look along the power lines, and after a while it just snaps in, it's just clear. And I thought, hey, this is amazing. I think I finally got it. So that's when I started in earnest doing EndMyopia. Got my first pair of normalized, and started dropping diopters from there.
That's quite a bit of persistence. And that's interesting, because months of not finding active focus, I could see myself, I'm just thinking as you're going through this, that I would almost be tempted to give up on an idea, because active focus is so central to this whole premise, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was pretty undecided at that moment. And I was still doing the Bates methods. I bought some books, I was reading those, and I was doing some Bates method practices. And I really wasn't decided on which method I was going to follow. And there was this other guy who had some videos on YouTube, and he practically said, well, active focus and Bates methods, it's practically all the same, and it doesn't matter. And I thought, well, I'm just going to try what I can do, and if this works. Yeah, I just did the Bates method for that time, with some palming, some sunning, and swinging, and all that stuff. And yeah, but I liked EndMyopia method more because of the scientific explanation. I mean, I really like the way that this whole stimulus response thing is explained, and I was kind of missing that in the Bates method. I mean, you do these practices, but how do they help? How do they reverse myopia? I mean, I have no doubt that someone doing Bates methods seriously can reverse their myopia, because obviously there are examples, but nobody ever could explain to me how exactly it works and what's the process behind it. And so right from the beginning, I liked EndMyopia more because of the explanation, because of the scientific way it's all explained. So I wanted to do that. But I had that problem with active focus.
Yeah. You say 5 years you wore the same glasses. How long have you been wearing glasses in general? Beyond the time? I
started out when I was 12, I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so normal.
It's been quite a long time. I really can't remember going without glasses.
That must be interesting. I remember back when I got to that point about where you're at, in that little 1 diopters range, where you just sometimes, like, you leave a place and you feel like you forgot your glasses, that habitual, like you used to always have them, like I'm in a coffee shop, right? Like I'm doing some stuff and I leave the coffee shop and I'm like, oh, I didn't get my glasses, till I remember that I don't actually use glasses anymore. Do you ever get those moments?
I'm not there quite yet. So.
No, okay, good for you. It'll happen, I think.
I'm pretty conscious of whether I have them or not, but I must say that with minus 0.5 that I wear now, the difference isn't all that big. So when I go outside, I will wear them in weather like this, when it's cloudy and rainy, and generally bad weather. And otherwise, if it's sunny outside, I don't take them. I don't need them. Yeah, it's a bit blurry, but I don't mind. But I'm really actively involved with the vision all the time. I mean, I look at stuff and try to clear stuff up and see if I can see better. So I'm very engaged with it. So I think
awesome.
that helps.
Yeah. You'll probably also likely avoid the whole presbyopia thing. So that's another bonus.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I've not yet.
The funny thing is, I had discovered a long time ago that I didn't need glasses when reading. That was years ago. And I just, when I had to read a book or something, I just took them off. So I never read with glasses for quite some time. So that probably, helped in not getting much worse. I don't read all that much, but when I did, I just took them off. And sadly, I didn't realize that I could see the computer screen without them when I had lower diopters. So I did wear them while using the computer. Until I got those last pairs of stronger glasses in June 2020. That was at that time I realized when I put these on, I can't see my monitor clearly. That was the first time I actually noticed that, and I said, well, I'm just going to wear my old glasses for the computer, half a diopter less, and so I did that for about half a year.
Yeah.
So I had that realization a bit earlier before I discovered the whole EndMyopia.
Nice. That's a good. I remember when you sent that email. I was like, that's very exciting. Like that last half diopter when you're in that zone where the glasses become optional in good lighting. That's super fun. That's a really fun time.
I'm really looking forward to spring, summer, when weather is better outside, and really trying to see if I can see stuff well without the glasses. For now, it's still a bit blurry, but I think that over the next months will improve.
Nice.
Actually, the thing that bothers me most these days is a bit of double vision. Because obviously I've been pushing a bit hard, dropping diopters a bit faster than is recommended, especially at first. And that has resulted in a bit of double vision in both eyes, actually. And that's, the vertical lines, the lampposts and stuff like that. It's, they're double. I have no problem with the horizontal lines, like the power line thing. It still works beautifully with or without glasses. I can see them just very sharp. But if it's vertical lines, that's difficult. That's a challenge. And I'm waiting for that to clear up a bit, and then I think I can see really well without the glasses.
Yeah, that takes time, and that's definitely something that tends to happen when you reduce too quickly, right? Because as we assume, right, because we don't have a whole lot of physical data, the eyeball changes shape, and as it does, the signal changes. So your brain has to reinterpret a changing signal. So now you're getting like astigmatism-like symptoms for a while, as the brain refigures how to interpret that signal. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's more the axis that the eye doesn't reshape in all directions in the same amounts.
Very likely. I mean,
I don't know if it's the brain that's having the problem. I mean, if I'm doing like this, if I stretch my eyelids a bit like this, it gets sharp. So that tells me it's something in the eye itself. If I apply a little pressure on the cornea like this with the eyelids, and then the vertical lines, they converge, and suddenly it's sharp. So I think it's really in the eye itself that the shape just isn't completely round yet. So, and that needs to sort itself out. So, and of course that takes a bit of time. But I'm confident I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, half diopter, a diopter, and don't be afraid either of just when necessary using a little bit more, right? Like there's no downside, especially like poor lighting, movie theater, whatever, like dark scenarios,
Yeah.
just to not strain your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to always challenge the eyes. So yeah, like I said, I prefer to be a little bit more undercorrected. But yeah, obviously, if I need it, I've got all these glasses. I can use them whenever I want. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I go back to back up maybe half a diopter just to see where am I at now. How does it look with these glasses that I wore half a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's it's a lot sharper than I remember, so I know I'm making progress.
Very nice.
But
Very nice.
yeah, I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license, so I don't have that problem that I need to wear a specific correction. I usually just go walking outside. And, yeah, it's just fine without glasses or not being fully corrected. So, but yeah, like you said, if you're in the movie theater or something, really want to see something well, then of course I take my glasses.
Nice. Well, very cool. I like that. This is a good, from relatively average diopters down to where glasses are optional, is a great motivator, hopefully, for people that, there's a lot of people that are in that range also. It's not that bad. 2 years, right? That's not that long, really.
No, it's doable. And yeah, that was actually my goal, to not have to wear glasses. Yeah, and at that point now, I know it's not perfect yet, but yeah, that was my first goal, to not need the glasses anymore. And yeah, everything that comes now, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, if it really gets back to 2020, that would be awesome. But if it doesn't, well, I see well enough now almost already. So
I think it will.
Pretty satisfied.
And we should do, if you do, whenever you do, if you do, when you do, remind me if you would, because people always give me a hard time that I don't do follow-ups because, of course I'll forget. But if you're in that place, maybe shoot me an email, let me know. We can have a little quick follow-up to let people know that you made it past the lens use.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Michael, for taking the time.
There aren't so many of these where people actually say, well, I'm back to 2020. That's something you don't see a lot also on the forum.
There are a lot, actually. If you go on the website, I have a separate category for people that did get back to 2020. The challenge is getting them right. Like by the time you figure this out, you don't need the resource. So exactly. You're not around, you're not chatting necessarily, and it's a one-time kind of event versus on the way, there's a lot of times to check in, updates, challenges, things that happen. When you're rid of them, you forget about this whole thing. So it's it requires me to email people and follow up and just keep track of. There are a fair amount of those stories, but they don't stick out, right? Because it's
yeah, exactly. I think that's a shame because I'm sure they're there. But, yeah, like you said, along the way you're not that engaged anymore with the forum and stuff like that. I feel that with myself. I never was very active on the forum, but yeah, last time it really goes well now, and I'm not that active on the forum anymore, reading stuff, replying to stuff. And, I guess that's common after a while when things go well.
It's super common. It's super common. That's why I said, remind me. I've been saying this a lot more lately, trying to remind people just to let me know so I don't get this like, well, where's the 2020 stories, right? But they're definitely on there. Like if you look on the website, there's a whole category.
Yeah, I know they're on the website. But I think it's good that you send out these little emails every year or every half year. How are you doing? Because that's also a reminder for me to check in with you again and say, well, it's going well, it's not going well, and that way we can keep each other updated.
And that was Michael. There you go. We're still doing Shortsighted podcast episodes. Not that often because schedules and Jake don't get along that well. More are coming. Every so often I'll do one. I hope you enjoy these along with all the other pro topic content. See you in the next one.
Meow, 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 meow.